Hello, welcome to the Governance, Risk and Compliance session. In this session, I will cover GRC techniques and principles. Governance, risk management and compliance, that is what GRC as an acronym stands for, are three pillars that work together for the purpose of assuring that an organization meets its objectives. Governance is a combination of processes established and executed by the board of directors that are reflected in the organization structure and how it's managed and led towards achieving goals. It's important here to understand that top management responsibility is GRC. Risk management is predicting and managing risks that could hinder the organization to achieve its objectives. And compliance with the company's policies and procedures, laws and regulations, strong and efficient governance is considered key to an organization's success. GRC has different strategic building blocks, split it between three layers of businesses. The three layers are business strategy layer, business management layer, and business platform layer. And every building block of GRC belongs to one layer. First building block is risk strategy. Risk strategy defines the way in which an organization undertakes risk management. A well-defined strategy to managing risk is essential if an organization is going to have clarity about what is being managed and how. It also aids decision-making and the effective use of scarce resources. Another building block is obligations. Obligations are the set of mandatory and voluntary commitments or obligations that the organization needs or chooses to comply with. Third building block is risk appetite. Risk appetite is defined as the balance of risk and reward that the organization is willing to accept. Fourth building block is risk profile. To understand how risks are identified, measured, and managed, and how these processes are integrated into an overall risk profile. Fifth, stakeholder management. Stakeholder management is a process of identifying critical stakeholders to the company's ability to succeed for its intended purpose and to identify, assess, and prioritize these critical stakeholders' reasonable expectations and requirements and to create plans to manage these. Sixth, governance, risk and compliance structure. It is critical to align governance, risk and compliance with the existing organizational structure, board and executive level committees. It means that every organization must adjust the GRC principles. Seventh, governance, risk and compliance policies. GRC policies set the framework under which the detailed processes, controls, structure and technology are structured and how effectively they operate. Eighth, monitoring and reporting. Effective monitoring and reporting framework support an organization in achieving its business objectives by enabling informed and effective risk management and business decision making. So this is very essential to measure where we are and where do we go. Ninth, key risk indicators. The key risk indicator is an indicator of the possibility of a future adverse impact or upside potential. Key risk indicators provide an early warning to identify potential events that might impact the ability or disability to achieve set objectives. 10th building block is risk modeling. Quantitative risk modeling is a statistical and financial analysis of risks that provides quantitative measures of risks and enables integration of risk. 11th, risk analysis techniques. Risk analysis techniques are used to investigate the underlying issues that might cause a symptom such as a compliance breach to occur. 12th, business process integration. It is crucial to ensure that business processes are designed and operated to reflect all obligations, that the process risk assessment takes into account all obligations, and that controls reflects the business appetite for risk or of failure of the process. 13th building block is risk culture. The risk and compliance implications of the way an organization operates is a critical component of an organization's GRC framework. 14th, performance incentives. Performance incentives are critical determinants of the behavior of an organization with respect to risk. 15th, governance, risk and compliance training. The objective is to design, create, deliver, measure, review and maintain training to support the risk framework and governance, risk and compliance initiatives as well. And last but not least, the 16th building block is governance, risk and compliance technology. We will talk about the technology in the next session, but GRC technology is defined as IT systems that support and enables a business process integration and deliver governance, risk and compliance relevant data. There are also 8 principles of GRC convergence, and these are: the first principle is to resist using a one-size-fits-all approach, because GRC needs to be tailored to the needs of the specific organization. The second principle states that converged GRC framework should allow the organization to assess once and satisfy many. Having a unified framework allows an organization to take a consistent, harmonized approach to risk management. The third principle says that convergence requires collaboration and coordination. The idea behind this principle is that a comprehensive approach requires integrating risk and compliance management processes across the key functional and business groups in an organization. Principle 4 states that convergence requires a cultural change, and this is very important. People are the primary barrier to convergence, so in order for GRC convergence to be successful, a cultural change emphasizing the importance of risk management driven by top leadership is needed. The fifth principle is that risk management must be actionable. Reporting GRC information in a timely and accurate manner is important to ensuring that risk data are actionable. Principle 6 reminds an organization to assume that risk is everywhere and to make risk the focal point. The technology solution should be configured so that it has the flexibility to effectively assess risk to various GRC elements. The seventh principle asserts that risk convergence is evolutionary, not revolutionary. An organization's risk and compliance methods will change over time, which changes the GRC framework and general best practices. The eighth and final principle is to make business process management as a priority, and this will lead to the proper and good risk management. Thank you for listening.